Yo, what's good, Eagles Nation? You already know what time it is. And listen, I got some news for you today that's going to shake this entire fan base to its core. An Eagles player, get this, just went anonymous and dropped a bombshell that, it proves this team is on the verge of a complete organizational collapse. I'm talking about leaked locker room quotes, 2023 meltdown comparisons, and a Vikings game on Sunday that could determine whether this season becomes a championship run or a total disaster. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let me break down exactly what's happening inside the Eagles facility right now. Because what I'm about to tell you, you're not hearing this on ESPN. No way. It's not being discussed on FS1, and look, the mainstream media is scared to say what we're about to say. Let's get into it. All right, so here's what happened. A current Eagles player, and we're talking about someone who's in that locker room right now, went completely anonymous to a reporter and said, and I'm quoting here, "This is starting to feel like the 2023 meltdown all over again." Emphatic. The 2023 meltdown. Let me remind you what that was, because some of y'all, you might have blocked it out of your memory like a traumatic experience, right? The Eagles started the season 10-1. They were Super Bowl favorites. They had just come off a Super Bowl appearance in February 2023, and everyone thought they were gonna run it back. And then they collapsed. They lost 5 of their last 6 regular season games. The locker room imploded, players pointing fingers, the coaching staff just in disarray. They limped into the playoffs as a wildcard team and got embarrassed in the first round. That was the 2023 meltdown, a complete organizational collapse that went from championship expectations to playoff elimination in 6 weeks? And now a player is saying it feels like that all over again. This isn't some random beat writer making stuff up. No, this is someone who's living it, breathing it, experiencing it in that facility every single day. And when a player goes anonymous, man, that means they're scared to put their name on it. That means the situation is so toxic that they can't speak openly without fear of retaliation. That's how you know this is serious. Now, let's talk about why this player feels this way. I mean, the Eagles just got absolutely humiliated by the New York Giants. The Giants! Incredible! A team that everyone expected the Eagles to just demolish. And what happened? The defense gave up 34 points. The offense looked predictable and stale. The coaching decisions questionable. It was the kind of loss that makes you question everything about your team. And here's what's been leaked from inside that locker room after the Giants' loss. Players are comparing the defensive breakdowns to the 2023 collapse. Veterans are having flashbacks to that toxic environment. The anonymous quote said players are already comparing this to their worst collapse in franchise history, and that the Giants' loss was so humiliating that veterans are having 2023 flashbacks. Think about that. These are grown men, professional athletes who are so traumatized by what happened in 2023 that one bad loss is bringing all those feelings flooding back. That's not just about football, man. That's psychological. That's emotional baggage that clearly never got resolved. But it gets worse. The anonymous source said the locker room is in, get this, full revolt mode, questioning coaching, play calling, and leadership. Full revolt mode. That means players are openly questioning Nick Sirianni's decisions. They're questioning Kellen Moore's play calling. They're questioning whether this coaching staff can actually get them to a championship. And you want to know what makes this even more explosive? Just yesterday, Lane Johnson, one of the team's veteran leaders, publicly said the offense is predictable. And then Jordan Mailata, he pushed back and said it's about execution, not play calling. So now you got all pro tackles publicly disagreeing about what the problem is. That's a locker room that's not unified. That's a team that's fracturing in real time. When your leaders can't even agree on what the problem is, how are you going to fix it? And this is exactly what happened in 2023. Remember when the O-line stopped communicating? Remember when Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown had that weird tension? Remember when players started leaking stuff to the media? That's what's happening right now. History is repeating itself, and this anonymous player is sounding the alarm before it's too late. So now we come to Sunday's game against the Vikings. And this anonymous player said it perfectly. He said this isn't just week 7. It's a crisis point. Here's the quote. Sunday's Vikings game isn't just week 7. It's a crisis point that will determine if this season becomes a complete organizational disaster.
The Eagles are 4-2 right now. On paper, that's not bad. But if they lose to the Vikings, they drop to 4-3. And more importantly, the psychological damage could be irreversible. If they lose this game, that anonymous player's prediction, it becomes reality. The narrative will shift from the Eagles are working through some issues to the Eagles are collapsing just like 2023. The media will jump all over it. The fans will panic. The locker room tension will explode. And then you got the rest of the season ahead of you with a team that's mentally broken, emotionally fractured, and psychologically defeated. The Vikings aren't just opponents on Sunday, man. They're the team that could trigger a total organizational meltdown. This is a prove-it game. This is a show-us you're different than 2023 game. This is the kind of game that defines seasons. So the big question is, can the Eagles avoid the 2023 meltdown? Here's what they need to do. Number one, Nick Sirianni needs to have a come-to-Jesus meeting with this team. Address the anonymous quotes head-on. Get everything out in the open. Clear the air. You can't have players going anonymous to reporters. That's a sign that communication is broken down. Fix it now before it's too late. Number two, the offensive line needs to get on the same page. Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata, they need to squash whatever disagreement they got going on. Whether it's play calling or execution, both need to improve. Number three, the defense needs to show up. Vic Fangio's unit just gave up 34 points to the Giants. That's unacceptable. You got talent on that side of the ball. Use it. And number four, Jalen Hurts needs to be a leader. This is his team. He's the franchise quarterback. He's got to step up and set the tone that this is not going to be like 2023. And number five, Howie Roseman needs to be ready to make moves. The trade deadline is November 4th. If this team needs help, go get it. Don't wait until it's too late. But here's the thing. Even if they do all that, there's no guarantee it works. Sometimes a team just has that psychological baggage that they can't shake. Sometimes the ghosts of past failures are just too strong. So that's where we're at, Eagles Nation. An anonymous player has exposed the truth. This team is on the verge of repeating the 2023 meltdown. The locker room is in revolt mode. The coaching is being questioned. The veterans are having flashbacks. And the Vikings game on Sunday, that's the ultimate test. Will the Eagles prove the doubters wrong? Will they show that 2024 is different than 2023? Or are we about to watch this team collapse in real time, just like that anonymous player predicted? Sunday is going to tell us everything we need to know. Make sure you drop a comment below with your prediction. Do you think the Eagles bounce back, or is this the beginning of another meltdown? Hit that like button if you want more real Eagles content that the mainstream media won't give you, and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next, because this story is just getting started. I'm out. Stay locked in, Eagles Nation. We'll see what happens Sunday.